Hey, this is Tony with Saltstrong, and I want to go over some ways of keeping your bait alive from a kayak and also when fishing from shore. So I have a couple methods that I like to use, which are these items right here, which I'm about to go over. And if you are fishing from a kayak, as you know, space is limited, so it's hard to keep a big cooler or a big bait bucket, and it's kind of hard to keep that bait alive. So I'm going to give you some tips on that as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at these two products that I have here. So the first and top product that I like to use to help keep my bait alive is a live bait cooler. This is made by Engel. It's Engel's Live Bait Cooler. They make these in the 13 quart, 19 quart, and also a 30 quart size. So depending on how much room you have to keep a cooler on your kayak or to carry around with you, or how big of the bait you're going to be using, you're going to vary that depending on the cooler size. So this one is great for holding shrimp, also small finger mullet, and some small white bait. So if that's the type of bait you like using, this will be the best cooler to go with. Also, this is a good size to use when fishing from a kayak because it's small enough to keep just enough bait in there for you and give you plenty of room to store other items in your kayak. So when you purchase this cooler, it actually comes with a shoulder strap there that'll help you transport the cooler when it's full, nice and handy to use. And also comes with a little bin that fits inside of the cooler, just slides there on top. And what this bin is for is to help keep any extra things you might have, such as batteries for your aerator or keys, wallet, phone. Keeps them in here, out of the water, and nice and dry. Because this cooler actually also doubles as a dry box or just a regular cooler if you're not using it to keep bait alive. Now it also comes with an aerator. This aerator that it comes with has two speeds. You can have a low setting and a high setting. However, it is a little loud, but you can easily just replace it with an aftermarket aerator pump if you wanted to. But the benefit of this pump is it actually has an area where you can put in a cigarette lighter adapter to help power it when you're in your car or vehicle and you are transporting your bait that way, just to help save your batteries inside. So again, this is my top choice for keeping bait alive in a kayak or when fishing from shore because it is a cooler. It will help maintain the water temperature inside, because if your water gets too hot, the bait will actually start to die off because of the lack of oxygen, even though you are putting in a little oxygen with the air stone and the aerator that it comes with. So just keep that in mind. And also, to help maintain the water temperature, a little tip is to keep a little pint-sized water bottle, a frozen water bottle, and just toss it in there with the bait, and that'll help keep the water cooled down. Now, if you are on the water all day and the water inside of the cooler starts to get hot, you're definitely going to want to replace the water. Not just because it gets hot, but it'll also get dirty as the fish are in there, any bait is in there. They will dirty up the water. That'll decrease their chances of surviving for a longer time. Now, another method for keeping bait alive is to just use a standard trolling bucket like so. These are handy in the sense that they can easily just be put in the water. You don't have to replace the water in them, and you can drag them behind you on the kayak. Now, the only disadvantage of that is they do weigh a lot when they're full of bait and full of water, so they will drag you down a lot when you are paddling from spot to spot. So the way to fix that is to just pick the bucket up out of the water, put it in your kayak, and also attach an aerator to the bucket so that the water inside stays nice and oxygenated and those fish stay lively. Now, to attach one, all you have to do is just attach a zip tie to the back holes of the bait bucket, and that gives you a place to clip your aerator onto. Then you can just run the hose into the bucket, and there you have your air stone in there with your hose, and that'll help keep your bait alive. Now, once you get to your spot, you're going to want to take the aerator off and remove it, and just toss the bucket in the water. That way you can get fresh water constantly circulating to your bait, and that will help keep them alive. Also, have a long enough rope attached to the bucket and to your kayak. That way it's not right next to you and banging up against the side, because that will spook fish away. So those are the two options that I like to use for storing bait and keeping them alive on the kayak, which are the Engel Live Bait Cooler and also the standard trolling bucket. So that wraps up this video on some tips for keeping your bait alive when fishing from a kayak and also fishing from shore or wade fishing. So if you have any questions about this, please feel free to leave a comment down below. Also be sure to go to saltstrong.com/insider and check out our insider membership. What you get are fishing reports, very detailed fishing reports that me and Luke put out every week. We give you satellite images, we show you exactly where we're catching fish. You also get some product reviews and some pretty awesome discounts on your favorite gear. Until then, I'll see you on the next video.